So, does it take a village to raise a child? My view on it coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense, Logic, and Reason. And as always, thank y'all for joining me today. So this saying is quote unquote a proverb, an African proverb. And you also often hear the left spewing this all the time. Well, because it fits their community, communistic, socialistic ideology, what they stand for. And we hear these old stories from back in the day, right? Where, if you were a child and you were up the street somewhere and you were up to no good and Miss Johnson saw you, she would call your parents, and when you got home there was a butt whooping waiting on you, as if she didn't went out and spank you behind herself. So because of this, people say, well, it was a community in the village that raised a child. But does it really take a village to raise a child? Well, the answer to that question is no. It takes a family to raise a child, not a village. Because if that were the case, if it was all about a village, there would be no such thing as hoods or ghettos. Why? Because the village would stamp out those hoods. The village would prevent any hood nonsense, ghetto nonsense from happening. And if that's happening in the black community, well, of course not. You look at the state of the black community and tell me there's no village there. So the problem with the black community is not the village. It's the lack of family. If you look at the statistically speaking, the black community, prior to the destruction of the black family with the Great Society, there was very little crime. I mean, basically all the negative stuff that we see happening in a black community really didn't exist because the family was strong. Now that the family is eroded, the black community is, well, the hoods in the ghetto that we see this today with all that community. So all that community, all that village. So obviously it takes more than a village to raise a child. I mean, really, let's say that if you had the Swiss Family Robinson, right, who shipwrecked, basically out on a boat, and they got shipwrecked on the 11th island. You telling me that they couldn't raise their family? Of course they could, and we've seen the movies of them doing so. Again, it does not take a village, it takes a family. If you have good families, you're going to have good communities. Good communities, you're going to have good neighborhoods. Good neighborhoods, you're going to have good towns and states and cities and such. So it does not take again, I don't have a problem with the community, but it's not the community or the village that raises a child. It's the family. So families are necessary to raise a child, not the village. Anyway, y'all, this has been my view and breakdown of that. And as always, y'all, until next time.